Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. As the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, considers his options on where to find money to fight the outbreak of the coronavirus, the Natural Resource Governance Institute and other civil society organizations have called on Parliament not to approve his proposal to amend the Petroleum Revenue Management Act to allow the government to draw down from the Ghana Heritage Fund. The institute has issued a statement, and Joy Business Assistant Editor Norman Akwa-Hayford has been going through. He joins me in the studio. So first, is the Finance Minister doing anything wrong by wanting to touch the Heritage Fund?
No, I don't think that he's doing anything wrong. I mean, don't forget that the fund was meant to be used in the future. So the law is such a way that when we talk of the future could be tomorrow.
Under what circumstance?
The future could be 3 hours from now, because we cannot tell what will happen in 3 hours from now. But then I think that one of the challenges with this particular law is that some people thought, or still do think, that there should have been a cap in the number of years that these funds should have remained in the account before any government can make a drawdown on it. And so some feel that it's too early. We probably haven't even gone more than 10 or 15 years. And so why would we want to begin to go in there and assess the fund and make a drawdown to take care of coronavirus?
Is that the point the Natural Resource Governance Institute is making?
Well, I am beginning to feel that that is the rationale behind their argument, because I have listened to a lot of people, and I'm sure if you had read my article, which was the Economics, My Take, I also was of the view that the Heritage Fund in particular was not what a fund that the Finance Minister should be allowed to touch.
Right. And so walk us through their statement and the issues they raised briefly.
Okay, so what they are saying is that, and one of the things they're saying is that don't forget that apart from the Heritage Fund, we have the Stabilization Fund, which that he's also asking that it should be capped at $100 million instead of the $300 million. So which means that then he can draw on some funds from there as well. Now, the argument from the CSOs, the NRGR and the other groups is that there is another fund we call the Contingency Fund. If we had been putting money in that particular fund in the last 3 years since this government took office, of course, would have had enough funds that we did not have to, have to ask that, the Heritage Fund, we should have.
But right now, we don't have time for ifs. We are in the middle of a crisis. The Finance Minister has to do something. He has to get money from somewhere to cushion the businesses, the economy. What alternatives does he have right now?
Okay, some of the alternatives, I think that we are very much aware of the private sector fund that has been put in place. The president yesterday did indicate that has raised close to $800 million. There's some 800 million CDs, and then $600,000 that has been raised only in that. Now, we also have the Coronavirus Alleviation Fund, which has been put together, that Parliament is debating, that is supposed to help us get some money from the Stabilization Fund and then look at other sources of income that we can take money from. Don't forget the IMF, the World Bank, all of them are supporting us. So some feel that with all these mix of funds available to him, the Finance Minister, he should be able to. There's no need to, go into the Heritage Fund. We think that it's too early for anybody to want to touch the Heritage Fund.
All right, Norman Akwa-Hayford, thanks very much indeed for that analysis. Now, as part of the austerity measures to ease the impact of the coronavirus on small and medium enterprises, a soft loan of up to 600 million cedis will be made available to SMEs in collaboration with financial institutions. President Akufo-Addo disclosed this in his address to the nation Sunday night.
We are in difficult times, and that is why I directed the Minister for Finance to send to Parliament the Coronavirus Alleviation Program, whose objective is to protect households and livelihoods, support micro, small, and medium-sized businesses, minimize job losses, and source additional funding for promotion of industries to shore up and expand industrial output for domestic consumption and exports. Government, in collaboration with the National Board for Small-Scale Industries, business and trade associations, and selected commercial and rural banks, will roll out a soft loan scheme up to a total of 600 million cedis, which will have a 1-year moratorium and 2-year repayment period for micro, small, and medium-scale businesses. Fellow Ghanaians, it is vital that we protect the lives of our frontline health workers.
And we have more business news coming up at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Do stay tuned. Sports is up next.